Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another currently inked video, this one for July. Hope to do these like monthly. And I wanted to say just a little bit about the pens, of course, why I've chosen these for July, and I've already been using them, so I can say a little bit about them. But I wanted to say a little bit about some systems that I'm using to kind of track pen and ink combos and my thoughts and so forth. And so the MD A5 notebook, A6 notebook that I've been using for these videos, at the end of the month, so this was June 2024, my other video tracks these pens and or says a little bit about the inking of them, that combination. I really had a good month in June. I felt like my notes here they're just kind of all good things. I really love the Lennon Toolbar Sesame Oil. I understand why it's so popular. Not only is it a pretty light brown color, it's got a really nice flow, especially for a light colored ink. Love the vibrancy of the Spanish blue. It matched so well with the pen. And so at any rate, I made some notes about them, but I want to do something that's a little bit more long-term with all the pens that I ink up, even if I just ink them up and kind of decide that's not a good pairing. And so I've got my Traveler's Notebook for that. This has Tomoe River paper in it. And what I've decided to do, this is probably not earth-shattering, probably most of you do this, but it just now occurred to me that it would be a good idea to write down the name of the pen, let it have its own TN page, and then every time I ink it, put a date and the ink I used, and then either a yes or a meh or a no, or maybe a few little notes. Maybe keep a few notes on the nib and how I'm enjoying it or not enjoying it. And so so this will be like kind of for my whole collection in a way. Currently they're just, as I pick them up and use them, they're not alphabetized or anything, but I think I should be able to like kind of track that way over time, how often I ink pens, which ones I keep returning to, and so forth. Okay, so let's get into today's currently inked for this month. And yeah, so here's my lineup of pens. And the ink this time, some of it, like I've got 2 bottles, but I actually have 3 packs of cartridges. I don't use cartridges that much, but I seem to go through phases. And some ink I only have in cartridge form, and some pens only take cartridges. So even though I generally use bottled inks, that's the situation this time. Okay, I'm going to start with a Franklin Christoph pen. This is a Model 3. And I picked this up at the Chicago Pen Show. It is quite beautiful. I love the design on the resin. It's a Stormwinds, and I can't remember like if it had another name besides that. It might have been a prototype, so I'm just gonna call it that. Get my other reference out here so that I don't get things wrong, because I also have a list which I'll show you at the end in my journal. So this is go ahead. Hope you have enough light. I am using daylight, and there are going to be some shadows, I think, this time of day. Could turn some light on. Let's see. Yeah, let's use just a little bit of light. Okay, so this is Frank. I'm going to go ahead and do a little scribble just to see a bigger picture of the ink. So this Franklin Christoph Model 3. Oops, that's kind of weird. Weird D there. Has a one of their Raven nibs, a black nib in fine. I hope you're able to see this. And I have it inked with Atasia ink. That's pretty well loved, and I've been using it since the pen show when I picked up a bottle. Um, and that is Bennett Sushi. And I was able to get a collection. They're not sample bottles, but they're smaller bottles of 3 of the Tasha inks. And yeah, so I'm really happy to have this and have been really happy having it in this pen. It's kind of a nice match. Okay, I'm including actually 2 pocket pens. In my last video, I talked about how much I love pocket pens. Well, this is an Opus 88. And sometimes people complain about the Opus 88s, their eyedropper pens, being like too big. Like you just have so much ink. And I do kind of feel that way about the really large ones. But I love the pocket pens. So this is inked with, I have 2 Shikiori, Sailor Shikiori inks in this lineup. And this is Sailor Shikiori Iori. Irori. I think I need to put another R in there. Anyway, Sailor Shikiori Iori. And not everybody loves red ink. I love red ink. I'm just going to say it. I really love red ink. I almost always have to have at least one pen inked with bright red. And some of the reds are like kind of not too great, but you find a few great ones, and Sailor has several really good reds. And then I think it's just a joy. They're just a joy to write with, and they're very vivid, and they're fun to use in my journal. This little pen's called Cheer Kitty. I always want to write cheers because the cat has a little wine glass and is like got a wine bottle too. It's just like very delightfully strange design. I really like it. Okay, so this is a fine. It's inked, as I said, with Sailor. Irori. I usually leave one of the R's out. It does have 2 R's. Yeah, so that's one of the 2 little pocket pens. The next pen I have inked is a Sailor Pro Gear. This is from the Smoothie line, and I really love it. It's the one called Passion Fruit. I love the yellow and how it looks with the gold and the creamy cap. It's very, like all the Pro Gears, very deluxe, wonderful, comfortable pen with a beautiful nib. So Sailor Pro Gear. And this is a 21 karat gold nib in medium fine. Hope I'm keeping in here. And it's inked with a new ink. I mean, not just new to me, it's actually a new Sailor Shikiori ink, and it's one that is called Yutsubame. Let me just say that I really, I think these packs of cartridges from the Sailor Shikiori line are great for a couple of reasons. One is they work really well in the minis. I have a couple Sailor minis, but also, and they're convenient like all cartridges, but also they give you a chance to try the ink and see what you think of it before you purchase a bottle. And so I like that. Okay, my next pen is a Benu, and this is the last time I featured the Euphoria, this one is a Talisman, and it's my oldest Benu, I believe, and I love it. It's one of my favorite pens. It's got a really great steel nib. I love the design because it not only has sparkles, but they're shaped like 4-leaf clovers, and it has a little bit of 4-leaf clover in it. Yeah, I love the idea of it. So this is a Benu Talisman. And it's called a 4-leaf clover. and I've inked it a million times with different green inks, but I wanted to put in a blue. This is a fine nib. And so I chose a blue that I've really been liking lately, and that is J. Herbin Bleu de Minuit, Midnight Blue. Yeah, and I ended up accidentally getting long cartridges, so I'm not using these in my mini pen, and so I wanted to start, using them in some of my larger pens. And I'll probably get a bottle of this ink because I really do like it. But for now, it's great to have the cartridges. Okay, so one last pen in the lineup. This is one of the first gold nib pens I got. It's a very popular, highly recommended Pilot. And everyone loves the burgundy and champagne or whatever, but I really like the black and gold classic. And it has a wonderful bouncy nib. So this is another gold nib. And so it is my Pilot E95S, the fine nib, inked with, you can probably guess what this is if you're thinking Pilot. It's Pilot Iroshizuku Yamabudo. Yamabudo is a beautiful magenta, very popular for good reason. And again, I grabbed the Iroshizuku cartridges. Again, really convenient. And I guess this currently inked is sort of like one of the themes of it is, there, get rid of that light, is that cartridges are cool, as much as we love bottled ink. So there it is on the MD paper, which is cream, so it's going to give the color a little bit of a certain kind of look. I'm going to switch over to my A5 Hobonichi to show you what these pens and inks, what the inks rather, out of these nibs look like on Tomoe River paper. Yeah, so there we are. Yeah, I think these are going to be, and already have been, really fun for the month of July. And you can see from my color lineup, it's kind of a lot of different shades of red and blue, and red and blue mixed. They do kind of go together. I'm not sure they're particularly summery, but I've really been enjoying them for July. Well, thanks to all of you who are fountain pen friends, and I'm sure if you're watching this, I've probably been enjoying your videos. And thanks to all the rest of you who are showing up, who are in my other community, which is scrapbook journals and journaling. Catch you next time.